Thank you very much, Jackie. Alabama Governor Robert Bentley visited Mobile today, as I mentioned, for the first time since the scandal involving his top political aide, Rebecca Mason, broke last month. Well, it was clear that the governor is still in no mood to talk about the scandal swirling around him. News 5's Bill Riales was there and reports the governor did not take well to being asked about it.
It was clear from the start of today's ceremonial bill signing at the Alabama State Port Authority that Governor Bentley was intent on avoiding any comment about the scandal. I asked him about it as soon as he got out of his car.
How are you, sir?
Hey,
got
a quick statement on the impeachment process?
No, I do not right now. We're talking about jobs.
Certainly a visit to Mobile by the governor of the state warrants attention, even if it's just a ceremonial bill signing. But it's even more important now with the many questions about the governor's current situation still unanswered, and the governor doing his best to avoid answering them.
We'll set some ground rules, guys. We're here to talk about jobs. We're here to talk about people, and that's all I'm talking about. So I want to tell you that right now. So I'm not talking about anything else.
The governor attempted to set ground rules as he did when he held an event to talk about Medicaid earlier this week. But there are legitimate questions.
Have you had any blowback from the scandal as far as recruitment?
Absolutely none.
What impact has the scandal had on recruitment?
Did you hear what I just said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no.
But is this a legitimate question?
No, it's not. Okay. We're here today. We signed a bill.
I understand.
We signed a bill today to bring jobs to this state, and that's what we're working on.
But have you had any blowback from the scandal as far as recruitment?
Absolutely none.
And on the subject of those impeachment proceedings on the minds of legislators in Montgomery, do you get the sense they're cooling off on you in the legislature right now in the impeachment process?
Is there another question?
Did you hear what I said? I said, yes, sir. Look, we are dealing with this today. We will deal with Montgomery. I have already made my statement, and so we're moving on.
Well, the governor was here today for a ceremonial bill signing, the bill, the Alabama Renewal Act. It's intended to help attract business to the state and provide some tax breaks to the State Port Authority. Reporting from the newsroom, Bill Riales, News 5.
With one federal and two state investigations into the governor's alleged affair, the scandal is overshadowing everything the governor does. And today was no different at Mobile's port. News 5's Debbie Williams has that part of the story.
This is the governor's first trip to Mobile since the scandal broke in Montgomery last month. If he thought it wasn't going to follow him south, he was wrong.
What impact has the scandal had on recruitment?
Did you hear what I just said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no.
But is this a legitimate question?
No, it's not. Okay. We're here today. We signed a bill.
I understand.
We signed a bill today to bring jobs to this state, and that's what we're working on.
But have you had any blowback from the scandal as far as recruitment?
Absolutely none.
The measure Governor Bentley signed into law is important, helping create jobs and recruit industry. But along with those pitches to bring businesses to the state, there are questions about the governor.
Yeah, people are aware of it. I was up in Washington and people were asking me about it, but it's more out of more curiosity than anything else. And nobody's judging the state of Alabama by whatever might or might not be happening.
News of an alleged affair between Governor Bentley and his then senior political advisor, Rebecca Mason, broke almost 3 weeks ago. Since then, an ethics investigation, an attorney general's investigation, a federal investigation into the possibility of misusing state property or funds to cover up the relationship, along with an attempt to impeach the governor, has begun.
And I'm working hard, even through all of this, I'm working hard every day to try to help the people. You know, and I think that's what people want. Thank you, guys.
A business-as-usual approach, while a dark cloud of suspicion hangs over the governor and his office, with no signs of lifting. In Mobile, Debbie Williams, News 5.
Well, while it was business as usual for the governor today, folks back in Montgomery are scrambling to find a way to oust him from office. They have 9 days left in the session, and they still have to form an entirely new investigative committee, and then they need to vet the articles of impeachment, and then the House has to vote on them. Meanwhile, folks are asking what's the difference between this scandal and Speaker of the House Mike Hubbard, who was indicted on 23 felony corruption charges.
Well, people have described it to me as there's really two different processes, right? One's being tried in a court of law, and the other is investigation on whether or not the office was abused.
Lawmakers return to session on Tuesday.